has. What's the pleasure in that? Why do people enjoy просто what, как you say, yenta? They just to waste time just talking about complete stupidity, right? But there is obviously, so the Vilna Gaon proves from here, because the whole world is created, as we say, zelu mazeh. The whole world is created with two sides. As much as there is some potential for something positive, there's always some negative mirror thing, right? So just like there is in potential, the words that you're spoken are not supposed to be just empty words. They're supposed to be wisdom words of Torah, right? So parallel to that, just like there's potential for Torah learning and potential of words of wisdom, so parallel to that, there is this desire, this almost illogical desire, просто сидеть и это вот и воздух гнать, just to talk nonsense, right? Okay, so he says like this, but in Kabbalistic terms, the entire creation is formed through these four spiritual elements, symbolically represented by these four physical ideas of earth, wind, fire, and water. And in Hebrew, Eish, Ruach, Mayim, and Ofer. Right? Eish is fire, Ofer is earth, Ruach is wind, and Mayim is water. Right? So he's saying like this. So even though in this recreation, this process of constant recreation, we don't see any difference, right? This table is table, this shul is the shul, everything is the same. Nothing really changes. Says that's not true. There is really, it's not just some kind of a theoretical idea that the world is constantly recreated every moment. No, there is a reality that's changing place there's something changing in the actual creation every single moment. How could that be? So he says, because through Amnam Hadalid Yisoidin Elohim, these four lofty elements, the Inun Hashroshin Kadmoin, that are called the Shroshin, means roots, Kadmoin, of these ancient roots, the Avhon, the Choila, they're called the fathers of everything, Kanizker Bezohar, as is mentioned in Zohar, Shehem, Shoiresh, Kol Maaseh Bereishis, they are the root of the entire act of creation, Upnimius Kulam, and also the innermost of everything, the inside, the pnimius of all the creations, Vehem, Dalit Oisyois Havaya Baruch Hu, and they are related to the four letters of Hashem's name. Right, the four letters of Hashem's name are represented by these, or the other way around, by these four elements. Right, so therefore, so his mazgusom, their connections, their kavosom, and their grafting, meaning the mixture of these four elements. Right, I mean, you think about it this way. Right, colors. Right, all the colors of the rainbow of the world. As many colors as you want are all created from three primary colors. Right, you take RGB, red, green, and blue, and you can create any color you want.
I heard that it was 7 colors, like it's like numbers, like number 7, colors 7.
So we 7 colors of the rainbow.
Yeah.
Right, but I'm just saying, but as far as the 3 elemental colors, you take red, green, and blue, and you can create any color you want.
Red, green, and blue?
Red, green, and blue, yeah. No, there's 2 systems.
Yellow and green, you can have blue.
Red and
I mean, I'm
so
sorry,
there is
green,
2
and
systems. There's 2 systems in color mixings. There's red, green, and blue, and there's something called the CMYK, which is cyan, magenta, yellow, and black. Right. So either you could use 4 colors, which, by the way, the 4 colors fit this system better. So again, you could. This is all. It's amazing because the 4 colors, the yellow, the blue, the cyan, which is magenta, which is like a red. Cyan is like a blue, and black is black. Right. So this responds to the 4 elements.
Black, you're mixing green and blue.
There's 2 systems, 2 ways you can mix colors to create any color you want. Either you could mix red, green, and blue, and you could get any color you want. It's all a matter of how much green, how much blue, and how much red. Okay? And then there's another system, so that's in your regular life, and you see online, any colors, that's all combination of red, green, and blue. Right? Anything you see online, any picture is just code, right? There's a code for every color. Just there's a number. There are 3 numbers that are put in, usually from 1 to 56, from 1 to 256. That's the levels of, right? So you can have a number, for example, it could say 11, 117, 34. And that's going to stand for some kind of a color. And we're talking about 256 times, to the 3rd power, whatever that is.
It's a
Right,
cube
whatever.
of 256,
256.
and each x, y, and z.
Right. So that's all the possibilities of color. So anything you see on the web is made through red, green, and blue. Anything you see in print, printers use the other system, the four-color system, which is cyan, magenta, yellow, and black. So the cyan, magenta, yellow, and black fits this four. It really is very clearly black is for earth, right? Cyan, blue is for water. Red is for fire, and yellow. Okay, yellow is a little less, but yellow is for wind. But and then there's this other system, which is red, green, and blue, which parallels another system. Also, there's the all of creation. Again, this is a famous also Kabbalistic concept. That there's chesed, there is kindness, there is gvura, which means strength, and then there is synthesis between the two forces, right, called tiferes or emes, beauty, right? So again, there's three systems. There's ultimate chesed, there's ultimate strength, and then there is the third, which is the synthesis between the three.
In RGB, what does
In
it stand
RGB,
for?
the red is the strength, red fire strength. Blue is cold, which is gvura, right? Right. So and then green is the middle color. Green is always like this, in between. So there's both of these things are true in the color scheme. Right, you have the red, green, and blue system, which divides the world into Chesed, Gvura, and Tiferes, and then you have the SCMYK system, which is based on these four elements of earth, wind, fire, and water. Right. So he's saying like this. So he's saying that so even though we don't see the recreation of the world happening every second, we know that it happens, but in reality it does happen. Meaning the entire world, every second that Hashem recreates it recreates it in a slightly different, what's the word, mixture. There's a slightly different shade to the world that we don't see. It's a different color, right? You put in a little bit less earth, a little bit more fire, a little bit less water, and there's a new creation. It looks all the same, but it's got a slightly different shade. So maybe, for example, so as a result, maybe let's say, I'm just saying, now we're talking, but let's say there's a time of war now, right? So that means that somewhere in creation there was put a little bit more fire into the creation, and so people are more edgy, and it proceeded to war. Had it been a little bit more water in creation, they would have gone partying instead, and something else would have happened, right? So even though the world looks the same, in reality, in the spiritual sources, there is a change that's actually taking place in this new recreation that's happening, right? Every single split second, every single moment, in the roots of roots. Okay, Eina Musa Klala, we can possibly understand this. But who is Baruch Shmoy Mechadsham called Regel Lefir? But HaKadosh Baruch Hu is Mechadeshet, he renews them each moment Lefir. Now he elaborates on this point a little more, gets a little bit heavier. Ve'inyan his mazgusam kol regan, and the idea of them mixing kol rega every moment. Haim, they are also represented by hatatraf, which is 1080 Tzeirufei Hashem Baruch Hu. 1080 permutations. Tzeirufi means permutations of Hashem's name. Right? We know Hashem's name again, Yud Kei Vav Kei, which is parallel to these four elements, but it has 1080 different permutations. Well, how could you have 1080 different permutations? So like this. So we know that by Hasidim they make a big deal of Bnei Yissaschar says when you by Rosh Chodesh, right, there are 12 months of the year. There are 4 letters in the name, and each month they take on a different configuration. So one month it's going to be Yud Kei Vav Kei, right? The next month it's going to be Yud Vav Hey Hey. The next month it's going to be Hey Vav Yud Hey, and so there are 12 possibilities of how you can rearrange the 4 letters of Hashem's name, and each month has its own koyach, has its own energy that comes from that Hashem's name. And again, by Chasidim, I don't know, by all Chasidim, but Bnei Yissaschar says, when you say the bracha of Baruch Ato Hashem, Mekadesh Yisrael V'Rosh Chadoshim, and Musaf of Rosh Chodesh, you're supposed to, in each month, you're supposed to have kavona for the permutation, for the rearrangement of that month's form. Okay, but so that's 12 permutations. Where do you get 1080 permutations? But now, if you take the nukudot, if you take the vowels, right? However many vowels there are, right? Usually, Usually we look at Hashem's name. There are no vowels, right? there really are vowels. The most basic vowels is like the vowels of the Shem Adonai, Aleph, Dalet, Nun, Yud, Adonai. So you take, Aleph is not really an A, it's really an E. It's really a Shva, right? So it's a Shva, the two dots like this, right? Then it's Adoi, O, right? And then Oi. Oi is really the Yud, so it's really a comma. So it's really a Shva, an O, what is it, a Choilem, and a commas, right? So we take that's really the basic vowelage that comes with Yud Kei Vav Kei. But we take that vowelage and we borrow it and we put it to the name Adonai, right? That's why we say Adonai instead of every time we say instead of Yud Kei Vav Kei we say Adonai, right? Because we replace the kind of we take the vowels without the consonants. But really, if you wanted to pronounce it in the base of English, I guess maybe that's how they pronounce it. You would say, like they say, the witnesses, the Jehovah's Witnesses, right? That's where they get this, right? So, right. But if you take different vowels and you all the possible permutations with the consonants rearrangements with the possible vowels, you're gonna get 1,080 different ways to rearrange just these 4 letters of Hashem's name. And where do we get the number 1,080 also? So that's what he says. Listen to this. You heard by Rosh Chodesh, they announce by Rosh Chodesh. What do they announce? Right? Rosh Chodesh is going to be on such and such time, day, such and such hour, and so many chalokim. What are chalokim? Right? What are chalokim? So every hour is divided into 1,080 chalokim. Okay, 1,080 chalokim. So these are they're not minutes. Minutes, there's no such thing as minutes in Judaism. There's no minutes. Even hours, it's questionable where the whole concept of hours come from, right? We know there's a day, right, and the day divides into before chatzos, after chatzos, But there is an idea called hours, and the hour is made up of 1,080 chalokim. Okay.
The hour changes, no?
Each hour.
That's the funny thing.
He's
Gonna
say V'inyan his mazgusam kol rega heim hatasraf tziruf Hashem baruch hu. So the 4 elements are also are dependent on the 1,080 permutations of Hashem's name. Al pi hishtanus nigudosehem, based on the change of their vowels. Tasraf rigei shoy, which is parallel to 1,080 moments within the hour. V'chein, so basically there is not only a change in matter, there's also a change in time, right? That each time has its own energy, has its own potential, has its own spirit, right? And there's every day is different, every hour is different, everything, there's no time in creation that's same that like any other time. Even though again we are used to thinking Monday, Thursday, the 31st. It's a recurring cycle, but really it's not a recurring cycle. Every unique day, every unique moment is absolutely unique, and it can't be similar to any other moment, right? So v'chein mishtani moed kol shol tzirufim acherim, and it divides, really subdivides even further. V'gam ein midas yom shovel midas laila, and the day hours are not similar to the night hours. Each one has its own general spirit. Lo kol yom doim lechaveiro, nor any day similar to its friend. Shulefon that's before it, ve'achar of klal at all, or after it at all. Zeh she'omar hamichadesh ma'aseh bereishis, that he recreates the entire ma'aseh bereishis daika, exactly ma'aseh bereishis. The whole system is recreated. And if I'm not mistaken, that the pasuk Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad, the gematria of that pasuk is also 1,080. Okay, so again, all of the possibilities of Hashem's name, it's all one, right? That's also it's hinted in that pasuk Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad. Okay, so that's the Sagon. Now we get to the heavy stuff. We're going to skip the next Sagon. We're going to go straight to Perek Gimel. So what we said so far, again, just a reminder, what did we say so far? We said Hashem created the man and Tzelem Elokim. Why did he use Elokim? Because Elokim is this recreator, this master of all forces that constantly repowers the whole creation. Okay, good, fine. But what's that got to do with me? Right? What's that got to do with me and the image of God? Hashem recreates the whole creation every single moment. So now listen, this is where it gets really heavy, okay? So now, Perek Gimel from the start, okay? Next page. Cain, B'dimyon zeh, So like this, bedimion in this bedimion, in this similarity, kaviyochel, third prayer, okay, kaviyochel, as if to say, Bora hu yisborach es hodem. Hashem created the man. V'hishlitoi, and he made a master al ribe rivavoin koichos ve'olomois ein mispar. And he made a master over ribe plurality, rivavon of tens of thousands, koichos of powers, ve'olomois and worlds ein mispar without end, without number. Umosram b'yodai, and he gave it over into his hands. He gave them over into his hands. Shehehu hamedaber, that he should be the speaker, right? Vehamanhig oisom, and the ruler and the guider of them. Al pikol prote tnuas masov v'diburov umachshavoisov. To every detail of his action, masov v'diburov, his speech, and machshavoisov, and his thoughts. Right? This comes from a pasuk. The pasuk says, right, Kikorav elecha adover me'oi. This thing is very close to you, beficha, in your mouth, bilvavcha, in your heart, lasoisoi, to do. Right? So Judaism is brought out in three ways: in thought, in speech, and in action. Right? So he's saying so therefore he says like this. So just like Elohim is the power of all the worlds, and he breathes life to all of these worlds, to the entire creation. Every single individual person, is responsible, so to speak, is the master, is the God of thousands and thousands of worlds that are within the shayrish, within the root of his soul. Okay? He is the absolute control. He is the God of those worlds, and every action that he does, the speech, the thought, he's the medaber. Why did he say medaber, the speaker? Because Hashem created the world with his speech, right? He is the medaber, he is the speaker, and through his action, he recreates, he breathes life into all those worlds. Okay? Ki b'masav, so he continues, Ki b'masav v'diburov u'machshavoisav atoivim, for through his actions, and through his speeches, and through his thoughts that are good, hatoivim, that are good, hu mekayim, he upkeeps, v'noisin koyach, and gives power, bekama koychos, into numerous strengths, powers, v'olomis, and worlds, elyonim hakadoshim, that are lofty and holy. Umoisiv bohem kedusha v'or, and he adds to them kedusha and or, and light. Okay? Right now he's going to bring lots of proofs for this idea. So basically he's saying a crazy idea. He's saying, what does Tzelem Elokim mean? He's saying an incredible idea. Tzelem Elokim means that you are in the image of Elohim. What does it mean in the image of Elohim? That each and every person, every single individual Jew is in control, is the master of thousands and thousands of worlds, that, all of the layers that Hashem created. And every action that we do is totally either to breathes new life into those worlds. Every good action that we do. Right? And he brings proof from Pasuk in Shaya. It says, V'osim dvorai bificha, and I will put my words into your mouth, lintoya shamayim, to plant heavens, v'liyisoid oretz, and to found the earth. Right? Ukama moirim, and similarly in famous Gemara and Brachas, we say it by davening, al tikre bonayach. Right? The Pasuk says, V'kol bonayach, what does the Pasuk say? V'kol bonayach,
Tikru.
What? No, that's later. Lemudei Hashem, and all the sons, right? That are the learned of Hashem, right? So the Gemara says in Brachas, Al tikre bonayach, don't read sons, ela boinayach, but read builders, right? Why? Well, what was wrong with sons? What are you doing? What's better about builders? No, of course. What? Shabbos, right? Right. That's where, right? So he's saying, don't read bonaich, the sons, read boinaich, because the sons are the builders. They are the ones who arrange those lofty worlds. Just like any builder who arranges the building, and they are the ones who are giving most of the power. Now the scary part will be hippo chas v'sholom, and the opposite chas v'sholom, alidei ma'asav or diburu v'machshavoisav asher loy toivim, through the actions or speech or the thought that is not good. Hu meharis rachmanu litzlon kama koichos, he destroys, he eradicates many powers, v'alomis, and worlds, el yoinim hakadoshim, these lofty spiritual worlds that are in his, so to speak, in his dominion, If the actions are good, he recreates them, he mechadish them, he renews them, the person. But if the actions and the thoughts and the speeches is not good, then he destroys them
The actions over here.
over
the
here.
Lamazeh.
Right.
So therefore, whoever is Machal Shabbos, they destroying the world.
Not only
over there.
Mechal Shabbos, he says everything you do, you pick up every action you do, you're
That's
connected. You're connected to myriads and myriads of these
building, you're
spiritual worlds. Right. You're either building or you're destroying. Every single moment, every single second, every single split second, just like Tzelem Elohim, just like Elohim is a renewer, a creator of the world. Every person has the same power within his domain. Obviously, the higher you are, like tzaddikim, it's scary because every little bit that they do, that's why Kodesh Baruch Hu judges them. He's going to say it's like chuta serah, like the hairbreadth, because everything they do, it's complete.
Because it
complete,
expects much more from them
complete
than
destruction,
than-
right? No, also because again they are in dominion, they are connected they are connected to a much their influence, like the CEO. Every little thing they do, it has much more greater ramifications, right? So it says so through the actions and speeches and thoughts that are not good, he destroys many powers and worlds, lofty worlds that are holy. Without measure and whatever, without measure. And it also brings a proof from Pasuk, the Yeshaya says also in the same part, says the destroyers from you will come out. Okay? If he doesn't destroy them, he darkens them, or he limits, it doesn't have to be always a blackout, sometimes it could be a brownout, right? You just diminish the holiness of that world that you're in charge of. And of course, with every destruction, right, we have again, like we said, everything positive has a negative mirror image. So if you don't build the brick that you could have built on the side of the good becomes the brick that you put on the side of the bad. In the levels of Tuma Rahman al-Islam. Okay, and now you can continue. Zehu, this is what it says. Vayivra Elakim es Odom b'Tzalma b'Tzelem Elakim. This is what it says, that Elakim made the Odom in his image. Ki b'Tzelem Elakim also. It says in the image of Elakim he made him. Shekumoy shehu yizborach shmoy. Just like he, blessed be he. Hu ha Elakim. He is the Elakim, which means Ba'ala koichois hanimtzoyim. All of the powers that we see b'chol ha'olamis kulam, in all of the worlds, umesadram umanhigam kol rega kirtzoyin, he arranges them and he guides them every moment through in his will, as his will. Kain, so too hishlit ritzoyna is baruch, empowered eso odom, the ritzoyna, the will of Hashem is empowered the odom shehu hapaiseach behasoiger. He is the opener and the closer shall come alfei ribois koichos v'olomis, many thousands and tens of thousands of powers and worlds, right? So you are the valve. A person is a valve. He either lets in kedusha or he cuts off kedusha. Okay? Al pikol prote sidre anagoisov b'chol, and this is connected to every detail of his behavior. B'chol inyonav, in all of his aspects. B'chol eis v'rega mamash, in every time and every moment, really. In accordance to his lofty root. Again, every person has his own root, right, in the whole creation. And based on the root of the action and the speech and the thoughts, right? Meaning, there are layers to understanding the person also. There is the basic, right? You got angry. Let's say a person gets angry, so we say, oh, you got angry. But then there is deeper analysis. Why did the person get angry? Oh, because it comes from his gaiva. And why did he have his gaiva? It comes from this. There's always details within every action that the person does. Okay, but anyway, so ki'ilu hu gam kein abal koyach shalahem kaviyachal, because it's as if he is the master, he's the God of these worlds. Okay, and now again, he's going to continue to support this with additional proofs from Chazal. Okay, just let's see if we could finish up. V'omru zal be'eicha rabba. See, and he says the same thing we see in the Medrash on Eicha. He says Rabbi Akiva b'shem Rabbi Yosi ben, I don't know, Simloi maybe, I'm not sure. Rabbi Akiva b'shem Rabbi Yossi ben Simloi. Oimer, he says, B'zman sheYisrael oisin ritzoyne shel mokom. At the time when Yisrael Jews do the will of Hashem, Moisifin koyach begvura shel ma'ala. They add koyach, strength, to the strength above, meaning to God's strength. Kamodat Omer, as it pasuk says, Be'elokim nasachayil. In God we will make strength. In God we will make strength. And again, he's going to point out which name of Hashem, which God. Again, over here it's also Elokim. Ubezman she'en Yisrael oisin l'tzoyne shel makom. And when Jews are not fulfilling the will of Hashem, kaviyachol metishin koyche godol shel ma'ala. They weaken the power of God on top. The ksiv, as the pasuk says in Ha'azinu, the pasuk says tzuri lo dechoteshi. The rock of your birth you have weakened. So kaviyachol, as if we're saying the actions of people, they like weaken the power of Hashem, right? Meaning, what does it mean, the weakened power of Hashem? Again, obviously it means that Hashem wanted to, let's say, do something in the world. He was gonna, let's say, have some power, something to come out in this world, and person's actions caused that the world was not worthy, and he's around. He feels like, he gives up. He doesn't. You weakened the rock of your birth. Okay, and the last thing, and this appears also in many places in the Zohar. And so, if you're following along, and this print gives you the Zohar in the original Aramaic, and then in brackets they give you the Hebrew translation. So we're just going to read the Hebrew translation. Chate ben Adam oisim pagam l'mayla. So in one place the Zohar says that a sin of a person makes a pagam, makes a damage of up above. Right? That's one. And then skipping down to the next brackets. Kisheroitzim lamoid al oisem maisim shel Yisrael. When you want to understand the actions of Jews, al Hashem vadei oimdim. They are standing on Hashem. What does that mean? Shekasher Yisrael oisim maisim sheloi kasherim. When Jews are doing actions that are not kosher, kaviyachol matishin koycha shel HaKadosh Baruch Hu. It's as if they are weakening the strength of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. However, Bekasher oisim maisim kasherim. However, when they're doing kasherim, kosher deeds, noisnim toikev v'koyach l'kutshabrichu. They give power and strength to Hashem. Balzek kosuv oimer, and this is a pasuk that we also say every day. Tnu oiz le'elokim. Give strength to God. Give strength to God. What does it mean, give strength to God? You can give strength to God? The answer is yes. B'ma? B'maisim ksherim. With what? With good deeds. Right? V'lachein, it just ends off. V'lachein omer le'elokim. That's why it says, in the first pasuk says le'elokim. Tnu oiz, the second pasuk. Tnu oiz le'elokim. Give strength to God. And again, the name is used. Elokim. V'chein be'elokim nasachayil. And the first pasuk says, in God, in Elokim, we will make strength. And why did in both these places we're talking about giving strength and taking away strength from God? Kaviyachal, as if, right? Why does it use the name of Elohim? Because Shepirusha Bala Koyches Kulam, because he's the source of all the powers, he's the source of all the worlds. So therefore, either you are Tzelem Elohim, you are the image of God. So you either give strength and upkeep the worlds, these again spiritual worlds that are above. And again, if you go back to the Haggadah that we said previously, we don't see this happening every single moment, but in reality, it's not just there is a physical change or some kind of a slight shade of change within the world every time a person is acting good, acting bad. There is real, so to speak, physical, ongoing domino effect that takes place. Okay, and that's the end of Perek Gimel. Okay. All right, so let's just let's daven. Oh, we don't have a minute, right?
We have 9.